Well, true story. I've just come back from an eye test at Specsavers, and she said, "Why are you here? What's the matter?" Now, I wanted to say I'm fed up of being in zone 3. She wouldn't have understood that, so I didn't say it. However, I got my wish. I'm not in zone 3 this week. I'm in zone 4. What on earth is going on there? Dear, oh dear. I I would never have gone that high or to the left because this fella in blue is looking quite steep, and this fella in the red here, he's not looking very high. So I got to be honest, I thought that was going to be very very close today. Our average was very very close to that as well. I wasn't far off the average this week, as I remember. But dear me, what a shambles! Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the judging. 8 judges. Who's in charge here? Oh, Matt's in charge today. He's still there. Okay. So, what do I think of this judging then? Well, I'm very mixed over this judging because this one here on the right, it's not very clustered, is it? This one here on the right, here at the top. Okay, this guy in blue is looking quite steep, and that's a possibility. So is the one next to it. I don't think these ones over here make sense to where this guy's looking. Also, this fella, they've got the magnifying glass over his eye there, so you can see he's not looking particularly high. So this one at the bottom left here, to me, makes sense from where the guy in red is looking. So somewhere between those two, the top right and the bottom one there, would be the obvious spot to go, and I think that's where our average was and where I went. That would have been the obvious place to go. But somehow we ended up with one all the way over here, two there, one up there. They just scattered all these. They don't make sense to me. I can't make sense of it at all. Perhaps they should have gone to Specsavers and I should have stayed in the house. But yeah, I'm really disappointed in the judging this week. I mean, a lot of weeks I think, well, it is what it is. But fair play to the winner because obviously he didn't go by sort of where we thought it should be. He's gone by where he thinks the judges are going to go. That's the only explanation that he could have gone where he went. Because the cross doesn't really make much sense from either player. So I think he's played it as we should play it, and he's gone for the where he thinks the judges would go and got it spot on. So well done to him for that. I was going to say something else too. I forgot what it was. Anyway, let's have a look at this week's picture. Can't do anything about that now, can we? And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of upset comments in the comments about this week's result. Although I expect a few of you done all right. All right, let's have a look at this week's picture and what did I do? What have I done so far? I have put a cross in. Although if this last week's picture is anything to go by, I'm probably nowhere near it. Let me draw some lines then, because I put my first cross there for now, because it looks relatively close to this fella in blue here, and he's our best option there, isn't he? So I've drawn a line from where I think he's looking up in that direction, because despite any action of the ball, body language and all that, we do put a big emphasis on where they're looking, because whatever they're doing, they're going to be looking at the ball, so that they can change their body in relation to where the ball's going. Well, this fella to me, obviously in the air, he couldn't have headed it because his head is back, his arm is forward, so I think it's coming down to him. So he's about to head it or catch it or whatever. If he'd headed it, his arms would have thrusted backwards and his head forward. So I'm going by it's on his way down to his head. Why have I put it that height? Because if I look at the other guy, he's looking slightly in front of his head. So he's up there. So I got it matched up there. The problem is these two players are so close together that you've got this. Look at this, where the two lines. All right, they cross at some point, but it's very very narrow all the way up and down. So it could be anywhere along that line, not further to the left, further to the right, obviously. So as much as I think that's a good spot where I've gone so far, it'll be interesting to see what you guys think, because It's very narrow band. It's like as if the eye lines are both roughly in the same line from the same direction. So it could be sort of any height. I tend to I've put it there because I tend to think it's closer. He wouldn't be in the air until last minute to try and get it. So I tend to think because of that, it's got to be relatively close to his head. Bearing in mind, he's not about to head across, is he? I'll put the magnifying glass over there and try and make it look a bit like a football because the ball's going to be a lot bigger than a cross, so it can't go too close to his head. But that's anyway. That's what I am for the first cross of the week. What is that coordinate? 24711333. So I'll put that in as my first one of the week. I expect some of you will go a lot higher because if you look at this guy here, of course, on the right in red, you can't see his eyes, and yet it looks as though you're looking at the back of his head, and his head is square on, looking up in this sort of direction. But I'm assuming he must be sort of looking slightly to his left. But I can't see the ball being that high, otherwise this guy in blue wouldn't be up in the air yet. Like I said, it's got to be relatively close to him. But like I say, it could be anywhere along that line. It could be another couple of 100 pixels further up. I'll see. We'll see what you guys think. So leave a coordinate for Saturday so we can have a look at your opinion. And I'll have another look throughout the week, see what I decide to do. So that's that. Let's have a look at Revcomps. And I had a message from my mate Ryan today, the one that won 3 times in his first 3 weeks of playing, once a week for 3 weeks. Messaged me this morning and said, I'm not playing Revcomps anymore. So I said, why not? He said, because I had a dry month in March, I didn't win anything. And now we're in the 1st of April, new month. He said, I'm giving up playing because I haven't won anything for a month. I said, some people have played for years and haven't won anything. But he was adamant, he was sticking to it until they sent out an email today saying you can win. I think it was, I can't remember how many it was. It was 1,200 Freddos or something. Yeah, it was 1,200. It was 20 boxes of 60 Freddos in a box. A year's supply of Freddos. So that got him back into it. So he probably got a couple of other tickets on top of that as well. What have I got for Thursday? I did have one on this Aston Martin Vantage only because of the cash alternative of 60,000. And like I said last week, I really like the look of this Audi A3 S-Line. So I had a few tickets on that. Then last night they added some more for next Monday. And I've only done one on this Porsche because of the under 1,000 cash alternative. It's tempted to do more, but I'm trying to cut down as well. I know, we've heard that a dozen times before and I never stick to it. That's all I went for. That was a bit pricey for me, although odds are quite good, 7,999 my camper. The truck, quite like the truck, that's alright. Only 5,000 tickets. Only 3,000 on the Merc, tenner a ticket. And there's another Merc there. I think that's a 4-wheel drive one. Might not be, but it looks like it. Auto draws, that's the ones that always get me sucked in. I didn't have one on this Mini, but I had a few quid credit to use up. So I just got one on this Mini. Just one, which is being drawn tonight. Would I ever drive around with the roof down? I'm not sure I would. But I had one because I had nothing else drawn tonight. Haven't done one on this. When is this? Tomorrow. It's BMW. That's the one I'm waiting for. Friday. Got 9 tickets on that one. Didn't bother with this Lexus. £100 a ticket. Not a chance. Or this. I got a couple of tickets on this as well because it was a 4-wheel drive SUV diesel. Only £1 a ticket. Odds are quite high though, 25,000. And I haven't got anything on this Golf GTI Club Sport yet. I probably won't either. So then the other thing to bear in mind, as it's the first of the month, I'll have to find it because I haven't done it yet. Hang on a second. It's a new month, so it's a new car, electric car giveaway on Auto Trader, an MG4 worth 26,995, 27 grand. That's cheap for an electric car, mine, isn't it? Not sure where these are made now. Aren't they Chinese or Japanese? Or I'm sure one of them took over MG. Lots of them about, lots of MGs around these days, so they must be relatively cheap. But yeah, that seems to be cheap for an electric car. But yeah, put your first name, last name, email address, and put a tick in there that you're over 17 with a driving license. And enter now. It doesn't cost anything. Just go for it. What's included? The MG, 1300 horse car insurance, and a home charger supplied and fitted. Hugely popular, switching to electric. 218-mile range, more than enough for daily duties. It is for me. 168 horsepower electric motor. 17-inch alloy wheels, 10-inch colour screen. Yeah, very bland inside, but electric ones are these days, aren't they? They just have a couple of screens and that's about it. Yes, I haven't ended it yet, but I will. After I finish doing this video, I'll put my name and email address in there and fire it off. So that's it from me, guys. Let me know how you got on, because I don't think many of you would have done particularly well. I think there'll be a lot of moaning going on, and rightly so if that judges anything to go by. But I expect two of you might have hit the right spot, played it clever by going where you think the judges went, rather than um, where you thought it was. Because it looked to me like some of those judges only looked at one player's eye line rather than both, because to put there where the winning cross was didn't match up with either eye line. So I think some of them looked up either eye, either player, and just went with that. Anyway, enough moaning. Let me know you got on. Leave a coordinate for next Saturday so we can make another video on Saturday morning to see where we think our average is going to be. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your week and good luck all.